Hello, here's another video about narcissistic abuse. Um, so I don't understand how. Wait, what time is it? 3:40 p.m. So I don't understand how come nobody calls the narcissist negative? Narcissistic abusers themselves are always referring to the victims who are empaths. You know, the victims who are empaths are always um, falsely condemned as being so negative. So a lot of people think that when we talk about the gang stalking and we're in distress, um, people call us negative when we talk about the gang stalking. If you speak about narcissistic abuse or gang stalking, you get falsely condemned as negative. You know, if you say, a person will say that you're too negative, energy draining, and complain too much, and that you're low vibrational, that new age talk, low vibrational, or that you run people off. But the same people, or that you're full of drama. But the same people who say that are the ones who causing your problems. The same people, they are narcissistic abusers causing the problems for the victim. And then you run to another person who you think is a friend, but they turn out to be a covert narcissist. And they wait till you're down at your worst to kick you down even harder and say that when you're in your emotional crisis, and they say that they don't have time for your drama, and they'll make it like you're the narcissist. You know, and you don't really have anybody to turn to. But if the empath is the type of person who's very generous and giving, but always getting taken advantage of, you know, if they have a big heart, and then people will falsely mistaken the empath to be a vulnerable narcissist when that's not the case, you know. But you have to realize, the true vulnerable narcissist is somebody who pretends to be an empath because they just want praise and adulation, and they're trying everything they could to get it. They do that on before men, and it's all fake and for show. So if the empath is quiet, stays to himself or herself, don't bother nobody. You know, that person is quiet and don't bother nobody. But then they're always, quote unquote, easy target to be picked on because of them being meek, lowly, and humble, you know. But when you're meek and you're a loner, you're quiet, you stay to yourself, and people think that because you're quiet or because, you know, you stay to yourself, they make it like as if you make yourself easy target to be picked on because you don't bother nobody. And then when you mention about the harassment and abuse and being taken advantage of, you know, they'll say you're negative, energy draining, complain too much, you're low vibrational, you're full of drama and negativity, that they stay away from you because you're just negative. But then they have a lot of narcissistic abusers with fake praise and fake positivity, fake new age positivity, you know. And like with the Freemasons, they'll pretend to have fake charities and do fake good deeds, or the communal narcissists, the communal narcissists, you know, they'll pretend to do fake good deeds for, you know, and then they brag and boast about how blessed they are, you know. And I really think that Pentecostal Christianity is everything narcissistic, and narcissism and witchcraft, you know. And it's like you see these rich Masonic fake Christian narcissistic abusers who, some of them pretend to be overly religious as a cover up, but then behind closed doors participating in satanic rituals. But they'll drive around in nice cars, don't do shit for the poor and homeless. They'll act nasty towards the poor and homeless, but they'll sit there and smile and brag about how blessed they are. If you brag about how blessed you are, you think that having a smack brand new 2024 Range Rover makes you blessed, and a nice, you own a paid off condo. No, you sold your soul to Satan, and Satan is giving you blessings, and you're falsely lying and saying it's God. So some people think that being physically rich on this earth makes them blessed. But while they don't even care to share their riches with the extremely poor, homeless, targeted, and destitute. So they'll do whatever wickedness that they can get away with, but when no one is looking. But they'll try to justify wickedness and glorify their evil as being good. They'll falsely glorify their evil as good. But if the overt narcissists, no matter what color or race they are, if they're rich, living a high life, but if they own a business and treat their customers like shit, or if they have a position of power or authority and they treat everybody like shit, but instead people fear them as God, fear, honor, and respect the narcissist as God, and they obey the narcissist's fake authority without question. Everybody's scared of the narcissistic abuser, but the one who's always overcritical and nitpicky, always, if they're always cursing you out or always cursing people out, they're always criticizing you, putting you down, being condescending, disrespectful. Everything about their mouth is nasty. But then with you, the victim with the reactive abuse, and you call them a fake bitch or whatever, if I might be like, you fake mean bitch, then I'll be told that I'm the one that's foul mouth. But, excuse me, but they can, criticize everything about you, every little picking thing. And they'll make it like as if they see through you to the point where they can see everything about you like God. But nobody calls the narcissist negative. The ones who's doing the bullying and picking it, doing the bullying, picking on you and harassing you. Nobody's calling the narcissist a negative. They be throwing up satanic hand signs, and people falsely praise them as good and positive, and they do evil, and then they're highly well spoken of once they die. And then but those are the motherfuckers that be fraudulently and illegally getting to live long. Like a lot of narcissistic abusers, they be the ones who die in their 90s and 100s and stuff. They don't be dying dying as kids and dying in their 20s and 30s. Nah, they be the ones that been living freaking long and prosperous in every way. But if they bully, harass, belittle, and pick on you, and they always got something bad to say, or like if you cook good food and they'll criticize and be like, oh, that looks like a 4-year-old cooked it. Or if you write a short story or something, they'll be like, oh, it looks like an 8-year-old wrote it. But they get all the praise and the flying monkey cult followers, while the victim is just nothing but trash. Like they get trashed when they're supposed to be supported.